Hi Rob.
Filip, good to see you.
I meet many hosting companies and they ask me, do you have new tricks for domains? What new domain market? And as I meet you today at the conference and yesterday, and as I heard many registrars and many really global providers talking about your ideas, so I need to take interview from you about what's new in that market. So forever domains, I think, or maybe first present yourself, maybe.
Yeah, so I'm Rob Monster. I'm the founder and CEO of epic.com, epik.com. We're a full-service ICANN accredited registrar and the world leader in domain name leasing and a variety of other novelties that are transforming the way that we buy and use and manage our domain name assets.
So yesterday I think that ICANN discussed about forever domains. Rob, can you explain a little bit about forever domains? What is it? How to use it?
Yeah. So the big idea of forever domains is the idea that says in real estate we have the concept of both leasehold and freehold property. You know, many people are familiar with the idea that in the case of physical property, it is actually possible to own a piece of land or to own a building on a piece of land. And in the domain name world, we only pay by the year. And at most, we can buy 10 years at a time. Well, that's a problem if you're building a business plan around owning a domain and being online and having email addresses and giving out business cards and all of this type of stuff. And most recently, about 1 year ago, some registries operated by Registry increased their prices by 30 times. The idea that
as example,
from $10 to $300.
Or what is
dot hosting, as an example.
Oh yeah.
So if you're a hosting company and you thought you were building a little business around mycompany.hosting, and your price per year went from $10 to $300, and from maybe $300 to $3,000, how could you possibly build a business?
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
And invest in your brand.
Absolutely. And if the risk is that at any given point in time, a registrar would be in a position where they were forced to pass through the higher cost that came from the registry, that would be a problem.
And also, other problem could be that people sometimes forget to renew domain names. They are outside their vacation, they turn off their phones, and they just forget to extend their domain.
And people die. So you have actual cases where a domain name is strategically important because it's a family business or it's the family name. And so there are a lot of circumstances where people, for one reason or another, need to have certainty that this is their digital brand. And so we introduced the idea of a forever domain registration. We are leading the market, working with stakeholders across ICANN, the regulator of the industry, to make this concept of forever or freehold or permanent registrations more common. And so epik.com is currently the only place in the world where you can buy a forever registration, and we're working to make this cost-effective and commonplace.
Or forever domains, it's valid for .com, for .un, or for what?
For most registries already, we offer a forever option, and we're working with the registry providers to provide better pricing so that we can actually pass through permanent registration of domain names for a fixed price.
What is the idea that, for example, when person die, domain expires, or would person periodically confirm that he's still alive, or how to it's like for 5,000 years, or?
Yeah, for perpetuity. So in fact, you buy it and you own that domain and you've secured it ongoing. If somebody, for example, dies or is incapacitated, then whoever is the executor of their estate then has the ability to manage that domain name. No different than when someone passes and they have a house or they have a piece of land, it becomes part of their estate. And the idea is it should be part of your estate.
Or if it's a company and it's, for example, bankrupt, somebody who bought this company can manage this domain.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly. So that's the direction that we think that we need to see more domain registrations go. And because various registries, both country code registries and so-called GTLDs or global top-level domains, these are more typically than not privately run and privately owned registries. So they're in a position to carve out a name in their portfolio and be able to sell it for a fixed price for perpetuity. So we're really excited about forever registrations.
And also you said that ICANN allows to run 10 years, but you will have make some hacks in ICANN, yes, and you make like some fix in ICANN, yeah, so they can register domain forever.
Exactly right. So at epik.com you can go search your domains, transfer your domains from other registrars, and own them forever for a fixed price. And here we are in October of 2018. We're coming up on the end of the tax year. So sometimes people are thinking about their year-end tax planning, being able to, for example, bulk register for forever domain names that they know they're going to keep anyway.
Or what is the best TLD for forever domains? As I know,
right now it will be .com. So for $420 you can own a .com forever.
But it's quite expensive, I think, for .com maybe.
Well, think about this: how much is your time worth? How much is your stress worth? And how much will you end up spending anyway for a domain name that you know you're going to keep renewing year after year after year? Yeah. People names, brand names, business names are all candidates for forever registrations.
And also it's a good opportunity for hosting companies to relate person forever to their hosting company.
Absolutely right. And we are also eager to partner with hosting companies around the world who are looking for ways to secure their customers forever and not have to be responsible for maintaining the cost of that domain. So they can recognize the revenue, and we can also help them to deliver a complete solution, forever hosting with forever domains.
And also could be new forever plans, for example. Some hosting starts offering, you can buy, for example, I don't know, website builder forever, for example.
Absolutely.
So you can buy domain forever, you can buy website builder forever, maybe email included. So,
powered by Site.pro.
For example.
For example.
Yeah,
we love this.
Yeah. And also maybe about other new features. Some new TLDs sometimes provide some offers with very cheap or close to zero price for the domain. Yes, and as you know, many registrars still do not support free registrations.
Right, that's true. Many registries are providing a cheap or free first year, but then charging quite a lot in the subsequent years. And so part of what this is intended to solve is taking out that risk that you don't invest time in building a brand on somebody's domain extension and have unknown future expenses related to maintaining that unique brand. So this solves a whole bunch of industry challenges and provides a kind of predictability that I think business owners are looking for.
And also some registrars do not support this feature, as they do not offer, like, if registry offer free domain, for example, for somebody,
right,
and registrar is behind, so registrar do not allow to do that.
That's true. Yeah. So we're excited about working with registries that actually have a vision around long-term use and are not playing games to take advantage of basically unsophisticated customers. So we go out of our way to selectively partner with registries where we know that it's not a bait and switch game. It's a long-term brand that you can build on without a high risk of being surprised in year 2, 3, or 4.
And you also have, as you know, several direct agreements with registry, for forever domains, or you do it manually for each registry, or
it typically will require individual negotiations with individual registries, and it's not just GTLD registries, but it's also CCTLD registries. So country code registries are also candidates to enter into forever registration agreements with Epic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So person can buy like his company dot his country.
Exactly.
And forever. So I think it's just understandable. Yeah, he can buy plate for his car. Yeah, he can buy a flat.
Right.
Everything.
It's not a radical idea really when we think about it. When we first introduced this idea, it was a radical idea, but already in a very short period of time we are seeing the tide turning as more and more registry, registrar, ICANN stakeholders are recognizing that it's a really obvious idea and that the industry deserves that solution, and so do the consumers.
And also, if you are an end customer or if you're a registrar or hosting company, they can go to your website and see all conditions of that thing.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Do you have something to add?
Well, the other big development that we see coming along in the domain space is the shift to leasing. So people who are, for example, investing in domains, historically there were really only two ways that you could make money. One, you could park your domain, and two, you could wait for somebody to buy it.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is that parking has gone down a lot in terms of the ability to make meaningful amounts of money, to the point that for many companies when they park their domain, they don't bring in enough parking income to pay the renewal cost. So
Yeah.
you have a large portfolio, and the bigger the portfolio, the bigger your loss. Well, that's a problem. Not
It was
sustainable.
5-10 years ago, it was okay, but now,
Not anymore.
yeah.
So as a result, what you see as a pattern is that you have domain names listed at a buy now price that is low, and people will buy those domains from time to time. Well, there are sometimes big corporate customers that would have paid vastly more for that domain name if they would have been asked to pay that price. So what we recommend as a strategy, on Epic we have an integrated marketplace where you can sell and you can lease domains. So you can list your domains with a make offer price where you're not specifying a fixed price, but inviting offers. Now, when you invite an offer, what else do you get? You also get information about who's making the offer. So if you know who's making the offer, you also know maybe what their budget is, what their geography is, what their preferred currency is. You can choose to present to them an offer that is relevant to them. And if they don't like that offer, what can you do? You can offer them the option of leasing, where they're paying per month for the right to use the domain name and then have the option of buying it later. So let's contrast two different scenarios. Scenario one, present day, you have a make offer price, you have a buy now price, somebody buys it. And if they don't want to buy that price, then the conversation becomes one where you're negotiating on price to buy. Well, that may leave a lot of revenue on the table. However, if you contrast that with a scenario where somebody can actually make an offer for a domain name, you can actually tailor the price, and instead of presenting weakness, you can say, well, if you don't want to pay my buy now price, you can lease the domain. Yeah. So it's an exciting shift in the pricing model for domains.
Thank you, Rob.
Yeah, my pleasure. Filip, congratulations on Site.pro. We're excited to work with you in the future.
Thank you.